Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Time for another ballot audit update. Today I have items from Maricopa County, Arizona and Fulton County, Georgia. We'll start with Georgia. First of all, full disclosure, I'm a conservative. Always keep that in mind when you evaluate whatever I say. But today I'll just be quoting a couple of items. No opinions today, pretty much just straight news, but you should know anyhow. So now you know I'm a conservative, always keep that in mind. We'll start with Georgia. I just have to preface this article in case some of you may not be familiar with what the situation is right now. Judge Brian Amaro had ordered an audit or examination of 147,000 absentee ballots in Fulton County, Georgia. Fulton County election officials went to court to stop it. There was a hearing today. There was a hearing today on these motions, or as I call them, roadblocks. I guess that's the part where you should keep in mind that I'm a conservative. I call them roadblocks, just legal obstacles that these election officials keep throwing up. And I have to wonder, as I always do, I mention it, what are they trying to hide? What are they afraid of? Whatever it is, they were in court today, and the judge, I had expected, maybe others were expecting, it seemed reasonable to expect that the judge would rule today, but no. So here's the headline: Georgia judge doesn't immediately rule on motions to dismiss in ballot case. A judge in Georgia on Monday heard motions to dismiss in a high-profile election case, but declined to immediately decide on them. Quote, "I think it's important that I take a little bit of time to review it and think about it," unquote, Henry County Superior Court Judge Brian Amaro said during a hearing. Amaro noted that there's been a flurry of filings in the case, which asserts there were fraudulent ballots counted during the 2020 election in Fulton County. The judge did not indicate when his decision will be announced. That's the disappointing part to me personally. County officials, these are the election officials, argued in filings that the complaint should be dismissed because the petitioners were trying to file an elections contest but failed to meet requirements to do so. Lawyers for the county argued in court on Monday that petitioners aren't entitled to declaratory judgment, that they lack standing, and that they only offered, quote, generalized grievances, unquote. Lawyers for petitioners countered in court that their clients, who are registered voters, do have standing and that they are not contesting the election. The petition focuses on alleged violations of the voters' constitutional rights, including equal protection rights. Bob Cheeley, one of the lawyers, noted that the notes from a monitor who observed the 2020 election in Fulton County, and I'll try to put that particular vlog in which I discussed that. I think it was just the last vlog, a very recent one. If I can find it quickly, I'll put it up at the end of this vlog. But Bob Cheeley, one of the lawyers, noted that notes from a monitor who observed the 2020 election in Fulton County, which were recently made public for the first time, included seeing county workers scanning absentee ballots multiple times at State Farm Arena. Quote, "If that's not denial of equal protection, I don't know what is," unquote, Cheeley said. Petitioners proposed forensic examination of the 147,000 absentee ballots is necessary to prevent fraudulent ballots from being inserted in future elections, especially given that officials have taken no steps to correct the problems seen in the 2020 election, Cheeley claimed. 10 experts were prepared to use, quote, high-powered microscopes, unquote, to look at each ballot to see if it was filled out by a person or a printer. And I'll just jump out for a second to remind everybody, Susie Voies and 3 other witnesses testified to seeing ballots that looked bogus. So it's not just a claim from the petitioners and their lawyers, it's a claim from witnesses, and these witnesses made their claims in written affidavits sworn under penalty of perjury. Back to the article. The county responded by saying they agree with the plaintiffs that fraudulent ballots should not be counted in future elections. A lawyer for the county's Board of Elections also said that ballots should not be scanned twice. Duh. That was me. The duh, it's not in the article. Amero ruled earlier this year that plaintiffs could get images of the absentee ballots, but the images were only 200 dots per inch. Experts during a hearing last month argued the resolution wasn't high enough to perform proper analyses, prompting Amero to agree to let plaintiffs go to the ballot storage warehouse and observe while county workers image the ballots at 600 dots per inch. The visit, however, was canceled after the county filed a flurry of motions to dismiss in the days before it was set to take place. The judge said the motions had to be heard before plaintiffs could get the fresh images. So that's what happened today. The judge was hearing these motions and will rule on them, but it's interesting to note, this is me editorializing again, that the county already let the petitioners see the ballots. They were already able to see the ballots, just the resolution was too low. That's all. They were 200 dots per inch. The experts say they need 600 dots per inch. So again, I have to wonder, what is the problem? They've already seen the ballots. It's the same ballots, just a higher resolution. So what is the problem? And that's it for Fulton County, Georgia. Now on to Maricopa County, Arizona. And in this case, I'm going to let Ken Bennett do the talking, a video interview with him done the day I'm recording this, the 21st. You're seeing it the day after on the 22nd, but it's fairly recent, and I just want to repeat before I play the video something I've said a few times, which is wait for the facts, don't jump to conclusions, and get your facts or your news from a reliable source. For example, there was a comment on my vlog the other day from somebody who said, well, here's my reference. It was a guy riding in his car saying that he had heard such and such from somebody who works in the Maricopa County, the arena where the ballot audit is being done, or he heard from a guy who knows a guy, whatever. You see, that's not reliable. What is reliable is what you're going to hear. This is Ken Bennett. He is the liaison. He is the Arizona Senate liaison. He is, well, I guess he's the poobah on top of the whole audit. He's the authoritative source. In other words, if you hear it from him, then you know that it's accurate. It's about less than 3.5 minutes, but watch the whole thing. Here's Ken Bennett.
How's it going? This is Jordan Conradson with the Gateway Pundit. I'm here with Ken Bennett. How's it going, Mr. Bennett?
Going well, thank you.
It's good. So it's the last week of counting. Can you tell us about what's going on the floor?
Well, there's a few little holdovers on the counting side. The last 3 boxes that we haven't touched yet are the Braille ballots. We've got 2 or 3 Braille readers who are going to be in tomorrow morning to deal with those ballots. Everything else has been counted. There's some double checking going on, and then most of the activity on the floor has to do with the paper evaluation.
So we're set to be done on Saturday, right?
At the pace we're making, we should be done this week, yes.
That is awesome. And so what about the subpoenaed information, the passwords and the routers?
We're still pushing the county for some of the information that we've not received, but I think the focus is getting these 2 phases, the hand count and the paper evaluation done. Then we'll turn our focus to getting some of the other information that didn't come over.
Are you guys going to have to take criminal action to get that information?
Well, I hope not. I believe that they will provide us what we need by subpoena. Both, the county and the Senate both know that the Maricopa County Superior Court judge has ruled that the Senate subpoenas are valid and need to be complied with. So we hope things will go smoothly.
All right. And then can we talk about the end of legislative session here in Arizona? The Senate's going home. What is going to happen with the end of the audit? And
well, obviously, if we find things that need to be fixed in Arizona election laws or procedures in the audit, we would love to have those things considered this year for passage of corrections to those state laws instead of waiting for next year, because if you put it in the regular session next year and the session doesn't end until May or June like this year did, then those bills don't become effective until 90 days later. By that time, you're well into the election of 2022. So one way or another, I personally hope that the legislature and the governor will find a way to either keep the legislative session open, maybe recess instead of sine die, or a commitment maybe to come back for a special session later this fall, so that these corrections, if we find any, can be made this year and be in effect for next year instead of being made next year and not effect until 2024.
all right. So what can regular citizens do to make sure that these corrections are made this year, not next year?
They can contact their state representatives and state senators, encourage them to be open to consider any recommendations that come out of the audit, and get those things taken care of this year so that they are in effect for next year.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Just one more item to share, a short one. I guess you could call this a liberal hypocrisy update. I assume everybody knows, or you should know. If you don't know, you'll know right now. The governor of California, he is being recalled, or maybe it's not set in the cards yet. Maybe they're still going over petitions. I'm not 100% sure. It's not really germane right now. What matters is that the Democrats have been challenging the petitions, the signatures on the petitions. So let's compare that to Arizona. That's what this little graphic does. So here it is, California, where Democrats go to court to demand exact signature matches on petitions to recall Governor Newsom. Arizona, where Democrats file suit to stop signature matching from being used in the 2020 presidential election audit. Funny how a line in the desert can change Democrats' beliefs. And a little criticism here, there should be an apostrophe after Democrats, but that doesn't change the sentiment with which I agree totally. As I said, total hypocrisy update. And that's it for today. As always, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate your spending your time with me. If you can spend a little more time, I would also appreciate thumbs up if you like this vlog for today. Share with anybody you think would also like it. Got any comments? Comment section below the video where you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my other channels, my hot dog channel and my original music channel, and the new song I've been promising for the last maybe couple weeks by now. It's up, okay? The new song is up. Link in the description. So to the whole channel, but the first song at the top should be the new song. Just visit it. You will not be disappointed. All the songs are good. Did I say you could subscribe? You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. That bears repetition. But most of all, I would love to see everybody again. I look forward to seeing everybody again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.